Okay, we'll call Committee of the Whole for May 21st to order. I would like to acknowledge that we're holding this meeting on the unceded lands of the Mi'kmaq. Record of attendance, I assume the deputy will be here because I haven't heard anything. Absent with regrets. Declarations of conflict, anyone? You can declare at the time of the agenda item. Approval of agenda, any additions or deletions? So I'm adding 6A, PAC committee. Jeff's gonna love this. We're adding house cleaning. Yeah, we're gonna clean this place. I don't live like this, I'm not gonna work like it. Okay, and then I wanted to remove, I know we've been trying to get it on, 9D, and I admit, I just haven't had time to get, it's the role descriptions. I just see fluff and I have to do a whole bunch of notes. But if everybody's okay with that. Any more additions or deletions? Okay, motion to approve with the changes, say, Councillor Dares and Councillor Lesser. All those in favor? Aye. Contrary? Motion carried, thank you. Okay, presentations, we don't have any presentations. No, I was looking at Peggy, but you did it the last time. Okay, good. Okay, staff report. So we have the CAO report. Is there anything there that anyone wanted to discuss? I'm going to ask you a question. Is there anything on regional streamlining that we can talk about here? Or you want to discuss that once you get digging in more?
What I can say is that the motion that was approved by council was to seek funding through the Municipal Innovation Fund, which was canceled with the recent provincial budget cuts. It's something that we'd be interested in seeking other avenues, and yesterday we spoke with ACOA.
Yeah.
So there may be a possibility of other sources of funding, but my sense was there wasn't an appetite from all parties to fund it ourselves. So.
Okay. Anything else on that one? Okay, so I just sent an email to both our neighboring wardens around the drought. We're going to sit down and have a chat around that, but for some reason I have a need a date for the drought preparedness meeting. We don't have to do that if I'm doing the other one first. I don't know why I thought we had a meeting set. Okay. All right. Any other questions for the CAO besides? And I had Juniper House. Is there a new build going up there? No, I can ask you that, but you're not the CAO.
We have a new build committee, it's active.
Yeah.
We met for a meeting in early June.
Okay. So we're doing this?
Well, when the money comes,
All right. Okay.
we're calling the money for you right now.
All righty. Fire department report. Oh, Councillor.
Oh, thank you, Your Worship. I just wondered if we could get an update on the church on Argyle Street. I go by, I see,
He's got
you
that
know,
right.
there's chipboard that is going up on the second floor. Just wondering whether anybody's been in there to look at it.
Yeah, so we engaged Delmar to manage that demolition. It's a bit of a large building on the edge of the street, so it was recommended that we do that. So they will undertake an invited tender from qualified demolition companies, and then they will oversee the work to ensure it's done safely and according to the contract. So we did have to send, we sent a private contractor in roughly a week ago, maybe a little more. We had a particularly strong wind and some siding was blowing off, and we were made aware of that and got them down there with a lift to re-secure siding, which seems a little, seems a little like going in the wrong direction when we're looking to tear it down, but in fact, it has to be safe. So we had to spend a little bit of money there to get that done.
Good. Okay, fire department, do I see the chief behind there? Welcome, chief, to your, is this your first committee of the whole meeting? It is. Well, somebody should ask him some questions.
So, Your Worship, if everyone doesn't know Peter, Peter Winship agreed to accept the invitation to be our acting chief, and Peter's been with our department, I'm going to say probably 25 years total, 20 years as a career firefighter, and most recently as a platoon chief. He certainly is a leader among the career staff, and so I think a natural selection for the acting chief. And I'll say so far so good. We've had lots of discussions, and tonight he and I are presenting to the career and volunteer firefighters on the workplace assessment report. So anyway, I just wanted to introduce you to Peter and tell you that so far so good.
Good stuff. So we're glad you repainted. I can't wait to get up and see it. And I noticed the truck's out. Maybe it's because you're painting, but I noticed the truck's out more. Yeah. That's why, yeah. Okay. Any question? No, we're good? Yep, you go ahead.
So it hasn't happened yet, but you'll see the trucks out more in the near future. The career firefighters had offered to pay for a new floor covering for the apparatus bay, and so that I think we sent the order today. Demario just walked in, he's nodding. So the order has been sent, and so when that arrives, that'll be installed, and that'll improve the bay considerably. And I believe, Peter, correct me if I'm wrong, but the career firefighters were also paying for the painting. Yes, correct. Yeah. And we thank them for that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, operational, and Chad's here. Questions for Chad? Who? I can't, you can see the, thanks, Jeff. Go ahead, Beth.
Thank you, Your Worship. Just wondering if we can get an update on the bus shelters. I noticed that we've got two in place, is that right?
Three more
Yep,
coming.
there's two we installed in the last few weeks, one on Pleasant Street next to the Korean War Memorial and one on Main Street next to Coronation Park. I think they look pretty good. Yeah, so Public Works staff built them. A bit of a learning curve on the first one, but the second one took us less than a day to install. So the remaining three locations, one at Yarmouth Fresh Mart, one at the hospital, and one across the street here next to the old courthouse, tentatively scheduled to be installed by the middle of July.
Sorry, go ahead. Yeah, just push your mic in. Sorry, Val. There you go.
Thank you. Just so that the five that we have, we're clear on the right-of-way for all of them. We're ready to go.
Oh yeah, we spent about a year resolving right-of-way
yeah.
issues.
Perfect, great, thank you.
Okay, so I had a couple questions. No, I went for a drive yesterday. Argyle Street, is anything happening in the near future? Is that on our list? Doesn't matter if it is or not, I just didn't know it was
For
on
what,
the list.
paving?
To pave, with the understanding that when we pave, we have to dig everything up anyway.
Yeah. It's not on our immediate list. I think engineering is looking at a sewer main upgrade, so it'd be a little premature for us to do any paving until that's complete.
All right, yeah, that's got to be done first. Okay, did we answer, is the tender for the church out yet? I know the tender's going out, but is it out from that company?
Demario may be able to answer that. So has Delmar issued the invited tender for the demolition? Did you catch that?
Yep. Waiting for Glenn to come back, too. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, just looking to see if there's, okay, tender for the church. Who does the Killam Marina? Is that you?
Yep.
Do we know what kind of shape those floating docks are in?
At the Killam Marina, Todd would be the best person to answer that. I think they're in fair shape, but that said, they're showing their age. But I could provide an update for the next committee of the whole.
That'd be great, thank you. All right. What do we do about ragweed?
Ragweed.
I'm asking, you know, I got all the questions.
I didn't know it was an issue. Is it an issue?
Yeah, for a long time. I don't know if you're even the person to ask, like, it's everywhere.
No, I'm not,
Nope.
I'm not the person to ask.
Okay, we'll figure out who that is.
Oh, it might be me.
Killam Marina,
I might be the person to ask, but I don't have any answers for you right here.
that's no problem. I should have given you a heads up and asked
Yeah, please do.
who it was, but
You know my number.
that's, I do.
Yeah.
Got it by heart. In the middle of the night. Yeah, okay. And then I think the deputy's going to want to speak on this one too, but because we didn't add it, but we can put it within here. Harv's. Oh, it's on? I saw it. Oh, did you? I must have printed this before. Nope, I've only got to 9G. Yeah. So, we can do that. I mean, I'm going to ask you now about, so Blueberry Fields, and the same issue, I think, down to Harv's, even though it's at 9H. Are we able to make the parking stall, you know what I mean? Paint the lines so that people say, this is where I can park, this is where I can't? Gives the RCMP something to ticket as opposed to, well, you don't ticket parking, do you, back there in the back row? No. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, yes, we're physically able to install lines. I don't know if it's a good precedent. Most of the lines are contained in the downtown core and along Main Street. I think the issue at Main and Houston, I think a few of his patrons were parking too close to the intersection at Houston Street.
Yeah.
So the Motor Vehicle Act requires you to park at least 7.5 meters from an intersecting street. So I think the first step there should be putting up some signage.
Okay.
As far as Blueberry Fields, I think we've probably corrected some of the issues there. We put up signs prohibiting people parking too close to intersections and the hydrant. We're going to realign the center line that we determined is 2 foot off center for whatever reason.
Well, yeah,
But,
there's more.
and I don't know if there's anything in the parking violations bylaw that dictate where painted park stalls are done.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know if that would be helpful too, because I'm not the parking expert.
I'd prefer to start with signage first.
Yeah, perfect.
Yep.
Deputy, did you want to? Oh, when you get there, because we can do it now if you want. Then it's done. Sorry.
No worries. I had a request from the owner of Harv's to, number one, make or investigate if they could have accessible parking spot as close to their front door as possible. That might be a 2-for-1 if that's close enough to the door, but yet far enough away from the intersection. That might
Right.
help a little bit. The other request was for parking stalls down there as well, because once his parking lot's full, they go out onto the road. Often his patrons or customers are getting tickets. And he thought, well, if people know where to park, if it was marked, it would be easier to kind of follow. So if we could do something there, just to see, especially the accessible parking spot, that's really what he wanted the most. But I figure if we're already doing things to improve it there, why not go right into everything? But I don't know if that needs to be a motion to direct staff, or just if we could look into it to see what we could do.
You're good to take a peek?
We can take a peek first, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and then if correspondence could come back, either to the owner or through me, to just so, you know, we know it's on, the issue is being looked at, we're doing what we can, at least from our
Yep.
point of view, that would
Yep.
be great.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay. Parking stalls, Harv's. when do our crosswalks get painted? Oh, my gosh.
Probably soon, June, yeah.
Okay.
We do most of the painting at night, so we need an ambient temperature of 10 degrees.
Yeah, exactly.
Which we don't get every evening yet.
We
so.
don't. You should just come in, I would have turned up the heat for you. So I'm getting daily, no joking, and I know it's because of the strike, but, out by the Meadows.
Yeah,
And they, you know, when they have the opportunity to stand there and chat about it, the speed of people going through there is, I mean, I've seen it. And I can't, they're honking their horns and they're all happy that, you know, to say hi, but they're speeding through there like crazy, which we can't fix. There's signage, because I drove all through town and wherever there's a crosswalk, there's basically
Yeah.
signage, but that needs to be brightened up. They were asking for lights, and I mean, it's not my choice, but I said, no, we've got signage and we've got, as they keep saying, you know, their people are, the seniors are just been hit every day, but we can't fix the drivers, you know? Go ahead.
So, Your Worship, the strike activity, it's a distraction, but people need to remember that they're behind the wheel of a vehicle.
Exactly.
You know, it's not the fault of the people who are exercising their right to strike.
Nope.
But I almost got run over here right in front of
Yeah.
Town Hall.
Yeah.
On the crosswalk, red light, person honking their horn drove through and was right in front of me, literally right in front of me before they realized what they had done. Because you're seeing something you're not used to seeing there. You're seeing a lot of people and some activity, and it doesn't take long, and next thing you know, you're over a crosswalk. So it's probably less to do with the paint and the signage than there is this distraction that people they're distracted by.
Yeah, they are. What they were sharing with me, and I agree with that, what they were sharing with me is that before they were striking, like they would take the wheelchairs out and good luck. And my answer, of course, is make sure the vehicles stop before you go through on any crosswalk, but they just come there. So anyway, we'll get that painted up nice bright white, and
Yep.
it'll be helpful. Crosswalks. Okay. That's all I had. Anybody else got anything? Okay, Councillor Bell?
Oh, thank you. Just back to the transit system again. I note that the one operable vehicle we have was out of service for a couple of days in April. Is it back out of service again now? I think I saw a notice.
yeah, it is, yeah, that's a problem with operating just
One.
one, all the,
And no timeline for when you're going to get parts for repair of the second
no,
one?
it's been frustrating, yeah. We've
Yeah.
gone back to the original supplier, and we haven't been getting great service, to be honest, yeah.
Okay, all right, well, you've got to deal with the reality,
Yeah.
but just, it would be great to have that reliability back again.
Absolutely.
Great, thank you.
Good. Deputy?
I'm wondering if we couldn't have some type of information out about the buses, kind of, that one is down and what we're doing and kind of what we're dealing with, just so the public knows. Sometimes when people are aware of things, it, you know, calms the storm and doesn't start the, well, I thought you bought two and they're lemons and blah, 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 blah. But, you know, when they know one is in an accident, it takes a minute to fix it up. And so maybe if we could get some information out, just some social media posts to kind of just have some info on where it is and what's going on, I think it might help the situation a little bit.
Good with that, Mike? So Mike will get that out. I won't help you, because my answer will be we had to have two buses and now they're free. I just see a light. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Where am I? Oh, see, I've got the wrong one, okay. Okay, 8B, RCMP, I did get that. Any questions for the RCMP? Or anything you want to share back there? That's.
I did. I just wanted to introduce the newest member of the management team.
Oh, can you come up? I'm sorry. Jeff, I can't function today. I'm looking for the report. I don't have it because I got the,
Is that a little better?
I don't
Yes.
have the right agenda.
So yes, I just wanted to introduce Corporal Dan McIntosh. He's our newest member of the management team for Yarmouth Town.
Oh,
I'm Dan.
Dan?
So Dan has some family and background here in Yarmouth, so we're really happy to have him. And he's never been to a council meeting, so I thought he would join me. And it's training day, so
Sit
Yeah.
right down. We're going to ask you some questions.
I've been warned.
Have you been here before? You haven't been here before in Yarmouth? I know your name for some reason.
Well, yeah, we met at the meeting probably 2 months ago.
so he was a
Before.
constable, so he's just been promoted to
Okay.
our establishment. Yeah.
All right. I knew that, but I meant in Yarmouth before that.
No, I worked in BC for almost 16 years. Left Fall River,
Okay.
going to St. Mary's University, and had family down here in Yarmouth. So I kind of grew up in Argyle and Yarmouth area. So it
Okay.
was interesting to come back. I never thought I would, but my dad's still here, and I've got family that still live around. So
Can't live here and not say, and say I may never come back. It
Well, they
dragged
don't-
you home.
They don't like letting people go from BC. So.
I know. Any questions for these folks? We got the report, thank you. We good? Yeah, I see that one now.
Just a thank you for, under the community highlights of the different events you're going to, especially for the marginalized communities. I think it's very important that they see a police presence in a positive way, so thank you for doing that.
Good? Good stuff. Thank you. Okay, planning and development. Martin's here. Any questions for Martin? Everything went well today? We can just have a, good? If you're free to provide that, yeah. Come on up. Mike called to come in, but he said you'd never make it because you were down there and going through, and I said, they'll be back in July.
That's right, and so what Mayor Penn's referring to is a site visit that happened this morning or afternoon. It's a blur, where Mr. Goshen, the developer, buyer of our old VIC site, and their potential development partner, AHANS, have been looking at the site, more at the site than the building, and sort of discussing potential sort of ideas and plans for the building. So what we anticipate to sort of see in the next couple months is a bit of a activity pickup on that file, and I think the sky's the limit. The ideas are great. It's just a matter of making it work financially, but some of the ideas and thoughts that sort of were shared this morning were beyond exciting, and we're looking forward to sort of seeing more from that group. Again, as I always say, there's nothing written in stone that it's going to happen, but the potential partnership that I just mentioned has a great potential. AHANS is building a portfolio of more and more units in our region. They enjoy to work with you and partially us, and so we'll see.
Awesome.
The only other thing I was going to mention, Mayor, if I could, is quick update on the number of units in respect to the HAF initiative. So right now, it looks like we have about 60, 70 units still to deliver in order to qualify for the outstanding funding or the remaining funding. That's about, in excess of $1.5 million. And so I'm hoping that everything goes well. By the end of June, we'll be probably 18 units short. So we're going to close the gap significantly this spring, summer, and I'm hopeful that somehow, somewhere, we're going to find a way how to get the 18 additional outstanding done. Again, those are permits that actually are in the system, so if everything goes well, by the end of June, July, we should have that number down to a very manageable number over the next couple of years.
Does that larger number include the conversation? So the person from yesterday that I
Yes, and so I think what Mayor Pam's referring to is an application for a 29-unit multi-residential project
Yeah.
on Jarvis that's been submitted. That building permit is under review, so is a development permit. So that's the one. And there's, 3, 4, 2 units. Many of them actually are coming in response to some of the work that you had approved very recently in relation to HAF-driven LEB amendments. So thanks for your help on that. It seems to be producing.
Susanna, is that on?
No,
I don't
actually,
say it
that
out
that
loud
does not.
because I will update them in camera, but I just don't dare to
So
say.
that project is not, and if we
It's
can
not?
land that project,
We-
we're over and beyond the wall.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
On that one, actually, update, we just received a request for amendment to existing development agreement that you should be seeing, whether it's planning committee or whether it's council over the next couple of months.
Perfect. Okay, so we'll make sure we're there. Councillor Lesser.
2 things. Similar to getting the information out that was just brought up, if we could get something out around the amount of housing that's happened in the last, 3 to 4 years versus, the 10 prior to that, because it's impressive. And you remind people that, there's this many houses coming in. And I think people jump to the conclusion that they think the units aren't affordable in some of those cases. But I think if we could get something out around the amount that we have in the books and that it's happening, like how much development is actually happening, to remind people and what affordable housing actually means. I know you can explain it to many people over a lot of time, but I think the more information we get out, the better, because affordable housing is not just like a flat rate and it's like, next to nothing. It still can be costly depending on income. And then the other question is there any further development or talk around Myrtle Street? I had somebody that lives on Myrtle that asked me 2 days ago if there was anything further happening.
Thanks for the question. So I'll do the second one first. Yes, the project is not, hasn't vanished. There's still ideas. And so more to come on that. There's nothing concrete, nothing formal proposed at this time, but I just spoke with the landowner on a weekend, and again, they assured me they're still thinking about doing something on that piece of land. The second one, I think, if I understand Council correctly, did you just ask us to provide Council and/or citizens with some sort of a formal update on the quality or not quality, the amount of housing that's sort of being either in a hopper or being under construction? If so, I'm thinking, I'm looking at you, Mike.
Yeah, he'll do that.
Yeah, I guess it was more directed towards Mike, but I guess we could provide the numbers. I just think it's a really good news story that it's actually, we're developing at the rate we're developing, and I think it's worth talking about so the public realizes that although we talk about a housing crisis, I think we're tackling it well with, I think from opening up and thinking outside the box and a new approach of doing things. So.
No, I agree. I think I would suggest there's a number of benefits sharing that information with the public, whether it's celebrating, whether it's informing. The reason I was looking at Mike is I'm thinking of the beacon. It could be a decent medium to share that. We have there's a little space to sort of work with that. And so maybe myself and Mike can put something together for the next edition of our beacon. So if that would be okay with you. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good idea for the beacon. It's no comments. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
ahead, Deputy.
just while that's brought up, I've heard nothing but great things about the Beacon. People have referred to it quite often, the contact information that was there. So if that was you, Mike, thank you very much for your work on that, because people are loving that one. So the fact that it's quarterly, we know that we're getting it at the hands of people. Not everyone's an internet person, so you've got that nice paper print that you can read and go back to, and so thank you for that. My question, Martin, was for you. You spoke about the total that was 67 away, and hopefully you'll be within 18. That's the 119 units that will hopefully be done by 2028. That's the final goal?
Correct. Councilor, the number's been bumped up to 132. We were awarded additional funding in that regard, and so we're now, the goal is, I think, 58 outstanding or to be provided. And as I said, if everything goes well, next couple of months, I'm hoping to be down to 18 by the end of summer.
Perfect. Great work on that. Thank you.
Anyone else? Good stuff. Thank you. Okay, operational planning. Engineering, DeMario's here. Do we have any questions for DeMario? When are you leaving and how long are you gone?
I am leaving tomorrow late morning, and I'm gone for a week.
I'll get him before he goes on, okay? DeMario needs some. Could be. Oh, yeah. That's Chad, maybe. Yeah. Is Chad still here? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to skip around because then it gets you, well, we're going right through. We've got canopies and everything else. Okay, hang on a second. Okay, no questions for DeMario. We're good? Jerry was, did you see him yesterday? Go ahead. I text every.
Yeah, so Jerry paid us a visit yesterday at the office, and of course, everyone was delighted to see him, and he's looking really good. He's recovering as I guess on track, and we're expecting him. He's expecting to be maybe by the end of June. He spoke a lot yesterday, and he still has an irritation from the tubes and whatnot, and so he coughed a lot, but he was very engaged, and it was great, as I said, great to see him, and to see him recovering as he is. It's pretty amazing stuff. So yeah, just great. So as far as budget goes, he and I did talk briefly about that, and leading up to, as he recovers, if he gets to a point where he's able to have the energy and sustain to begin to look at that or help us with that, we'll begin to work. But I've assured him that we'll wait for him to be ready before we proceed further. As I said, tax bills have gone out, and they'll go out again in the fall, and by that time for certain we'll have things locked down, the budget. The impact of that right now is more operational. Directors who've asked for certain things within the budget, and we can't commit necessarily if it's something that's new. So there is a little bit of an impact that way, but it is, in the big picture, it's pretty minimal.
Yeah, and it didn't, I sort of thought I knew where we were going to land from all of our previous conversations. So I did CTV this morning. They're just asking the impact of taxes on how we operate. I think we were saying around 75%, and then, some grants from the province and things like that. There's some concerns. So I think HRM is really, they're not doing well. Moncton is at 88%, so we're doing better. You know what I mean? Like, we're doing better, but 75% is high. But anyway, I did that interview just so they'd have information around, like, how are we functioning, and because of the conversations we had, I can't promise, we haven't done our budget, but it didn't look like we would be, making any great changes. Recreation. He's sick. And then strategic planning, if there was any questions there, that's for information. Good there. Go ahead.
Just when it comes to recreation, last time I brought up the need or the want of those in our community to discuss options that will be happening once Mariners on Main shut down, especially for non-structured gym time for our youth. I believe we all received an email today from the Youth Wellbeing Network. I've been contacted by other people. We said that we would wait for our May meeting to get that going, and then we didn't have a meeting in May. So I guess for me, it's just like, we need to get the ball rolling.
Yeah.
When it comes to that, especially when we have other service providers reaching out to us with the same concern.
Yeah.
I think it's just sit down, we hear each other, this is where we're at, this is where you're at,
Yeah.
and we go from there, not a bashing session or
No.
in anything, but I think there's some very involved and concerned parents and other people. You know, where will our youth go, what will they do? And I do believe there is work being done as school
there is.
board
Yeah.
and that is meeting and other possible options. But if people don't know that, once again,
Yeah.
it turns into the firestorm. So I'm not sure if that's an email or what we could do to get it going. I really don't want to wait to another June meeting and then we're into summer and then this is something that could be done. I know Haley from
Yeah.
Mariners on Main wants to be involved as well.
Yeah.
So if we could do something just to make sure that that snowball gets made and
Yeah.
pushed down the hill, so
So,
get going on that one.
so, good point, and a couple of things on that. We did say at that meeting, like we said, October for the Forest out.
Right.
Right, that's, so where is it? I have no problem giving Jared a call and just saying, you know, where are we? Because we are looking at, to be able to start in September to get a fresh start. So let me do that. Secondly, Counselor Lesser, you and I were at, and Belle was there too, but we were at that session where we had quite a number of teens at the youth well-being, and we were very clear in saying, you know, this is what's happening. This is what we're doing with the schools. What else did we say? Oh, we explained the why. Like, we can't run this by ourselves. They're sending it out to everybody, but this is our building. We'll be sending it out. With what we said, I felt it was with the understanding that they were going to gather that information and get it out to the rest of the people that were there, because they were kind of separated into various, which is fair, you go where you need to be, but the information will come back to everybody. That may not have happened, because we were very clear. We just built a $44 million facility. We can't possibly we can't, but we are working on a fix.
And so I think for me is, it's letting the public know we are working on a
Yes.
fix. That
Yeah.
sometimes when they don't see it or hear it, they believe it's not being done.
Yeah.
So even the ability to be like, yeah, we heard you.
Yeah.
Actually, we're already there. We thought ahead. We have, because we have. But I just think the message isn't out there to the public, and I know there's a lot of very concerned parents, you know, where will our youth go, what will they do? So I think that meeting could be quite easily done and have a lot of positive impacts once we get it out there and hear them, they hear us, and we can move forward. So I don't know what we need to do to speed that up, but I definitely don't want to wait on it.
It can, for me, I think it's just an email to those agencies that reached out. Talk to the school board if they feel they can be involved. That would be up to them. If you can think of anybody else that should be at that table, sit down and explain. They can explain why they feel this, but
Right.
we have to be able to explain
Oh,
what.
two
we
ways,
do.
yep, for sure.
Yeah.
Yep, thank you.
Okay. Derek? Oh, sorry, bud.
Yeah, for that meeting, I think the students that were at that meeting, I think really understood when we presented to them what some of the obstacles are and what we're looking at doing. But I don't think that information went past that room maybe. And I know it was tracked. I know they put stuff on a vision board or whatever, but I'm not sure that information was passed along.
Exactly.
I think most of the students in that room, I think, felt pretty good about the conversation, but I don't think it went much further than that.
Okay, so we're good there, I assume, okay, finance, recreation, okay, Yarmouth Garden Club. So this is under business, and the recommended motion is to recommend that council support the Garden Club's request on installing an interpretive panel on the corner of Main and Brown Street. That moved, seconded? Go ahead.
First off, I support this completely, but I do have questions because I remember when it was brought up during the presentation, There were some issues on where the interpretive panel was going to go and if the sign had to be moved, and I was wondering if any progress has been made on that.
The sign can be moved.
Shouldn't turn my thing off. To where? What's the plan? Or are we just moving it out? And excellent. Thank you.
Good? Okay. All those in favor? Aye. Contrary? Motion carried. Killen Brother lease, the recommended motion there is to recommend the council pause rent up to 1 year for the Southwest Nova Biosphere on the Killen building until funding is secured. Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Oh, I'm going to hold. Go ahead.
Asking, is it to pause it for a year or if they receive funding? So it's up to a year or if they receive funding
If they
within that
receive
year?
funding in 6
Yeah,
months?
right on.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay. I'm going to pick my battles. All those in favor? Aye. Contrary? Motion carried. Expanding road trails. Just got to bring this up. Okay. Okay, so we're going to go with the motion that Lindsay wrote. That council directs staff to conduct a jurisdictional scan and prepare a report with different options regarding expanding the ATV trails on town streets. Go ahead, CAO.
So,
Okay,
so,
moved.
no, sorry, Your Worship, that was the motion for March 12th. The report is subsequent to that.
Yeah, I'm on the wrong
And,
one.
and so, no, you're on the right one.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just you read the motion at the top, which Lindsay just repeated the motion for March 12th. And so what the report said is that through her jurisdictional scan, she did identify some communities that had extended the road trail beyond a single linkage between trails. And the most extensive being Corner Brook, who were one of the leaders in this. And the advice from them was to do a thorough community consultation prior to considering any expansion, so that you're sure, what your community feels, what the concerns are, what the opportunities are, and if you are going to expand incrementally. They have done that. I think they've got 32 streets at this point that are open. They've also done something else that I thought was interesting. I don't think that we have a legislative framework to allow this, but they grant individual permits. So if you live on, I don't know, Cliff Street, you could get a permit to ride your motorcycle or your side-by-side to the nearest point where you can get on the road trail. So every permit would be individual route specific, but the idea is that you give people permission, specific permission, rather than have people say, well, I'm not going to put it on the trailer to go 1 block, I'll just take my chances, right? So they were making it permissible for people to make that connection from within the community. Again, I don't think we have the legislative framework to support that, but they must in Newfoundland. So the recommendation, again, to come back to that is if council wishes to proceed, would be to engage in a thorough community engagement prior to any expansion of the road trails.
Okay. Go ahead.
Thank you. So I guess the motion would be then to recommend that a public engagement survey be conducted to inform future phases. If that's the motion, then I make it.
Okay,
Thank
have a
you.
seconder? Thank you. Oh, that was it. All right. Go ahead.
Just going to say, I think it's important for the public's input on this one. I know the first time when we talked about going down Water Street, we all heard criticism about it. And I would say the only criticism I've heard and seen would be the people illegally doing it. So youth, speeding, going past the speed limit are not licensed. But I think the responsible users are making good use of it. And I haven't personally heard anybody complain about the responsible drivers. But to start opening up too much, I think the community would need to be quite involved if it's talking about residential. And in this case, a route directly to the high school, I'm not sure would be great, because I think every kid would bring a wheeler to school, and I don't know what that would look like, but I think it's really important to have the public involved in this one.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you, Your Worship. I love the idea that we do the consultation. I think it's very important, but I also feel like, for example, you were saying that those who were criticized were ones who were doing it illegally. Well, whether it's allowed or not, they're still going to do it illegally. That's kind of the definition. And that rules like this, they make it more matter of fact. So right now you see an ATV or a side-by-side going down Water Street. You don't think much of it anymore. It's not, the novelty isn't quite there anymore. And the ones that I see on Water Street are really, they're responsible, and it's very good. It's an economic benefit. I think it's a huge piece. I love the fact that we have Water Street, but it is time to slowly think about expansion. So I support this 100%.
Thank you, Your Worship. We have the RCMP with us today, and I wonder if I could direct a question, Your Worship, to them with regards to how often they would be ticketing all-terrain vehicles in the town of Yarmouth that are operating illegally, as in not on Water Street, but on every other street in town. Because, I think the status right now is that that's illegal, right? But it's happening. I think we probably all are aware of ATVs that are parked and with no visible form of transportation attached to them. So I'm kind of interested in that. And I'm going to make an observation that if we're going to expand access to the roadways for ATVs, then we need to seriously think about lowering the speed limit in this town. It's just too dangerous to be on the streets at 50 kilometers, because 50 becomes 60. We need to have a conversation about our local streets having the speed limits reduced to 30, because it's a small town. You can get everywhere very quickly. And the difference between a collision at 30 kilometers an hour and 50 could mean the difference between life or death.
Okay, would you mind coming up and?
We just briefly discuss this. I don't have any stats, obviously. It's off the cuff, but it's fairly often that we're ticketing. And if it's observed, then of course we would engage in enforcement. So, yeah. Again, I'd have to.
There was one just the other night.
Yeah.
We found more in the winter time, people would get out in a snowstorm and just zip around, but we do get called and we do go to it, and tickets are issued fairly often, so.
Yeah.
But like you say, the ones going up and down Water Street, the
Yeah.
majority that we see are helmeted, lighted, going very slowly down the roadway, so.
It's not those we're referring to. We're talking about, you know what we mean. Those that are not plated, they're observed, breaking the law, so.
Okay, go ahead.
So ultimately, and this is my point, it kind of drives me crazy in a way because there's a hole in the logic. People who are, we expanded that road system so that you could go through Water Street, and you yourself said most of the people on Water Street are fine. Illegal is illegal. So if we made something else legal, is there a lineup that means there's going to be more illegal activity? Because to me, legal is legal. And the people who are going to be heading up following it, chances are they're doing it right. The people who aren't doing it right are doing it anyway. Just an observation.
There's a difference between illegal, I get it, but getting from, like our house, like halfway up a street to get on the trail, you know, than somebody who's unticketed, or no paperwork, no helmets, no, like, I know they're both illegal, but we're trying to get that, you can't even get to a gas station right now.
Yeah, there's always a threshold of, you know, to your point, you know, illegal versus, it's illegal. However, as Worship has advised, you know, there's people that their behaviors are reflective of enforcement, right? And I think that's what we need to keep in mind.
Yeah. That's fair. Sorry, Wade.
Not to be sarcastic, and I apologize if you take it that way. Do you ever write tickets for cars doing things illegal? Do we ban them?
I don't know what you mean. Can you rephrase?
Sure. If we're looking at a reason to not allow ATVs, legal ATVs on a trail because of illegal activity, this is the part that bothers me about this. If you're going to do that, then it's just silly to me because expanding that's fine. But there's plenty of illegal activity on ATVs or on cars. You don't ban the cars, and the cars are there. So to me, the fact that you have some illegal activity on ATVs shouldn't be an issue when it comes to making it legal for people who are doing something legal to be able to do it. Just, I don't know, just my opinion.
I'm with you. I feel like some of them, not all of them, but the ones that are trying to get there quickly from point A to point B so I don't get caught, they're going to be able to slow down and say, okay, I'm all right. If I get caught, at least it's legal. Say what you need to say.
Well, I just said the fact that you'd be allowed to is you're not hiding, you're not
Exactly.
doing more illegal things to just hide the one going point A to point B to get to the trail type thing, so I agree.
Go ahead, Counselor.
I just want to say I look forward to having this discussion after we pass the motion and engage the public consultation part of it, because I think that's really important.
As long as they get all the information.
I'm one of 7,000 people, so it's not my opinion that counts.
Go ahead, Counselor Lesser.
I think to Councillor Cleveland's point, if we all walk a lot, like everybody on council's out and about in the community, and if you go up any street, you can see four-wheelers in most people's backyards, and those same four-wheelers are on the tracks, but there's no trailer in the driveway. So there are a lot of law-abiding citizens who are trying to find a way to get on the tracks, and they're probably breaking the law to get there. It depends, I guess, how they're breaking the law. If they're speeding right now, my guess is some people might be going faster to hopefully not get caught, which is making the matter worse. But I think there are probably a lot of people using them illegally that are good people that would possibly use them in a more safe manner. I liked what you said about the CAO mentioned about individual permits, and I think that would potentially solve that. So it allows people to get on the tracks or on the trail from their house that's not too far away. But anyway, I guess we'll see what the public thinks.
Okay. So, remember the motion? Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Contrary? Motion carried. Skip that one. 9E, Order of Merit of Police Officers. So the recommended motion there is to recommend that council send a letter of congratulations to April Bonia for her induction into the Order of Merit of Police Officers by the Governor General of Canada. Moved and seconded. Discussion. Go ahead there, Councillor. You explain this one.
Not a discussion, just a comment. This is a significant recognition of her service, and so it deserves to be, highlighted by this council.
Good. Okay. All those in favor? Aye. Contrary? Motion carried. 9G, recommended motion is to recommend that council table the request from the Milton Improvement Society for the installation of a walkway and canopy at Doug Melanson Park until the town's grant coordinator can identify funding opportunities for improving accessibility in the park. Oh, there, that was changed.
There's another one there. So there's power first, and then there's the wall.
Well, let's do the first one first. To recommend that council, I gotta get rid of that. To recommend that council permit the Milton Improvement Society to install power at the Doug Melanson Park pending that they obtain all necessary permits and provide a detailed drawing of the proposed electrical service to the town of Yarmouth for approval. Okay, moving, and seconded. Okay, any discussion on this one? Except we're paying for the power, which is not much, but we're paying for the power, and that's it. Yeah, I'm just like, I'm okay.
If you're looking for rationale, I believe that
Damn.
they've had a couple of successful evening concerts there, and they would benefit from having power that would provide for audio equipment.
Yeah, I read that part.
Yeah,
I
I think that's
just
the impetus behind it.
didn't understand, yeah, okay. All those in favor? Contrary? Motion carried. And then to recommend that council table the request from the Milton Improvement Society for the installation of a walkway and canopy at Doug Melanson Park until the town's grant coordinator can identify funding opportunities for improving accessibility in the park. Moved, seconded. Discussion on this one? All those in favor? Aye. Contrary? Motion carried. Main Street parking, that was you, Deputy, but is there anything else you want to add to it, or?
Do we need to make a motion, or is that on Chad's docket? We're good from there.
Is,
Make a motion
Yeah.
to ask him to look into it.
yeah,
I'd like to make a motion that we direct staff to investigate the possibility of putting an accessible parking spot in front of Harv's Diner, and also the possibility of installing parking stalls there to help with the congestion.
moved and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Contrary? Motion carried. We've got correspondence there. So, okay, Chad, I think you may have gotten this, maybe not, from Mr. Devine? Oh, okay. So can we leave this, or? Go ahead.
Yeah, so I can say that our engineering staff have been working with Mr. Devine as it relates to the to the street work that will be done there and his concerns around the driveway. I'm not sure that that we're at a point that we'll be able to completely satisfy him, but certainly there would be improvements made through this project.
Good? Go ahead, Counselor.
Just on a similar topic about drainage, I should have brought this up, I guess, when Chad was up here earlier, but on Chestnut Street, where the trail goes through, I know that spot often seems to spring a leak. And on the corner, I think, is James Hattie. And he's talked before about the amount of erosion that happens in his driveway. But I was really happy. I'm assuming this happens every time, but I was happy when I drove by a couple days ago and there was new gravel put down. So I think that goes a long way for people that have that happening. So thank you.
Okay, Deputy?
Just in that letter, there was a few requests that council kind of follow up on or whatnot. You said they had been in contact, CAO, and I was just wondering if that communication covers kind of what he's asking, or just kind of the full circle. You know how sometimes people ask, and we just want to make sure that they're contacted back and kind of know it's either working on it, but, okay, perfect, thank you.
Okay. All right, and then 10B is Christina Boyce regarding Store Street request to be one-way. So what are we thinking about this one, folks?
Direct traffic authority?
We refer it to him just because we get a letter?
So if council is open to the possibility, then you refer it to the traffic authority to look at. If council is not interested in the proposal, then you don't refer it to staff to do work.
Go ahead.
I believe that the request has merit, so I would make a recommendation that we refer it to staff for a recommendation.
Okay, moved and seconded. Any discussion? Go ahead, wait.
Just simply that a lot of those streets, I run some of them quite a bit, or was before, they're narrow, and they basically were built for horses and buggies. So the fact that they could become one-way streets, and I know some of them already are, is a good idea, I think, and it certainly needs to be investigated.
We'll take a peek at all of them that are thin. Well, not, yeah, I mean, I go ahead, Councillor Lesser.
Just
I'm just having a hard time.
trying to get the name of the street. Store? No, so what's the other? Catherine, okay. I guess my only thought would be, it'd be nice if it was going the opposite direction of the other one. Just so that one can be used for going up and one could be used, I think that would be logical, but.
There's an up and down now. One goes down, one goes up. Store, obviously, but just past store, I think. I'm trying to remember. Well, this is, no, that's public. And then you go past. Yeah. So, yeah, we should look it up and down.
I think you got that covered, Chad, sorry. We know. I don't, not for me, because I wouldn't touch them, but that's just, go ahead, Councillor Dow.
Oh, thank you, Your Worship. I just think that when we're thinking about altering traffic patterns, that we should be also looking at what other jurisdictions are doing to calm traffic in neighborhoods. And the reality is that there are jurisdictions where speed limits are going down, residents have full use of both sides of the road, they don't make them any wider, to park, and basically they're both ways, and you go slow, and you figure it out. And I'm just saying that I've seen it work in other jurisdictions, and the big thing is that we're driving too fast. And that's what causes the problems. You know, we're an urban area. It's a small geographic area. It's not going to take anybody more than 10 minutes to get from one end of the town to the other. And in our local neighborhoods with our narrow, small, historic streets, if we started thinking about alternatives that calm the neighborhood, lowering speed limits probably would be would help eliminate all of the problems, or many of the problems that people are experiencing getting up and down those streets now. Because, I mean, I've been on those streets and seen people booting up from Water Street 60 kilometers an hour to go where? Get at the top of Main Street and you have to wait for traffic. So, like, I'm just saying there's not just one answer to this, and I'd like to look at all of the possibilities. Thank you.
Thank you. So, thanks for saying what I would have said, except more diplomatically, because I have a problem saying things diplomatically. I always say to Chad, like, I would just leave it, but I mean, if you go to other towns, cities, anywhere, they're finding their way up and down. So I live on Chestnut, and you've got the medical center. They're parked on both sides of the street, so I have to slow down when I see something coming. And then I go where they go. Like, it's so, I can't wrap my head around the fact that we can't slow down and let a driver go by, or, you know, up on Main Street, the conversations around Main Street that, you know, like, you open your door and you expect it not to get hit when somebody, I don't understand it. So it's not the roads, it's the drivers. And we want to make it as safe as possible, but I think there's also, this issue hasn't not existed. This is, I mean, we're busier, but the issue exists, and we could take every street and change it. No, you can only park on one side of the road, or we'd have to change the whole town, or we can just say to people, like, can we just be a little bit more, and there's no patience. There's none of that. And I get the safety thing, but safe drivers will find a way. So it's what we do for everything. We accommodate for the ones that won't do what they need to do to make it safer. But I respect it. I mean, I respect whatever way we go. It doesn't matter to me. Councillor.
Hi. So I agree with lowering or looking at lowering the speed limit and stuff like that. And with you about making things as safe as possible. But I don't think there'd be one person in this room or this town that hasn't driven in a distracted manner at some point in their life.
Oh, yes.
There's no way. And if we have the ability to look at something that has come to our table and possibly make it better, safer for the people in an area, then why not look at it?
Yeah.
We have a lot of one-way streets here. They're there for a reason, I'm guessing. This may be one that needs to be there for a reason. It may not be, but it can't hurt to investigate this. If it makes something safer, why not? Otherwise, we don't need seatbelts, and we don't need speed limits, and we don't need all kinds of things that we put in place to make our town, our world safer. And sometimes we go back and change those things when they're not working anymore, but I don't see the problem looking at this at all.
And I don't see a problem looking at it.
Yeah.
I don't. Every day I see the how do you say it? Every day I see like a half a dozen, we need to, like, every crosswalk now has to have lights, and I think that's where my head was going.
Yeah, but we
So-
have to look at this as an individual, I think.
Yep. Okay. So are we good? I think we're all good. All those in favor? Opposed? I just didn't vote, but that means no. Okay. Additions. What did I add? Okay. No fighting over this one now. Need somebody to step up to PAC. It's once a month, sometimes once every 2 months.
Yeah, sometimes.
So it's like 7 or 8 meetings a year, a Monday night at 6 o'clock.
PAC?
Oh, Tuesday, sorry, Tuesday.
You could
You
get
will?
them to come on Monday, but it wouldn't be helpful.
No, wouldn't, no, because Mondays are, okay. Counselor Lesser will,
The only exception would be if there happens to be, Tuesdays are also equity, I think, or accessibility, one of the two. So if that happens to, or like,
Just like-
overlap, but it would be, yeah, I don't mind stepping up.
huh? Okay, so motion to appoint Counselor Lesser to the Planning Advisory Committee. Moved, seconded, all those in favor? Aye. Contrary? Motion carried. And if you can't, it's just Judy. You just send her a note and say, I have equity EDI. Thank you. Oh, yeah, yeah. So can you handle that? Huh? Yeah, that's what I was just looking at her to make sure, okay? What else did I have on here? Sorry. Oh, house cleaning. Oh, take over for a second. I gotta make a motion.
Does anyone have a motion that they would
I
like?
I do. I have a motion that we have staff look into hiring cleaning folks to come in and do a top-to-bottom cleaning of Town Hall. Please.
Do we have to make a motion on that? I'll second it.
Oh, no, I was going to call someone, and I thought Jeff would say, you can't do that. Huh? Oh, get us a price. Can we do that? I know, we can do whatever we want. I'm just going to say it. It's dirty in here. We don't see it, but it's dirty. And it's like, I don't mind dusting my own office, but I mind having to take the scraper. Okay, can I have a seconder? Ask for a seconder. Moved and seconded.
30 seconds.
It's just to have staff look into what it would cost to get something, because when you say $10,000, I'd rather have them look into it. Yeah.
Any other discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded, motion carried. Thank you.
Thanks for letting me do that. It was better than Jeff having to kick me out of my seat. Okay, was that the only two? All right. Oh, go ahead.
I know I didn't ask for this to be put on the agenda, but if I could, I'd like to talk about something else that.
Go ahead.
So I know I brought it up in a post, and I think you commented about it as well. At a future meeting, I think I'd like to look at the town, talking about a motion for the town to write a letter to our federal and provincial justice ministers around holding social media to account for allowing anonymous posts to be made. And I say that because I've been attacked recently myself, but I've been watching everyone around this table constantly get attacked, everyone that I work with be attacked. And I think it's time that we somehow, we at least push the agenda to have this happen. And when I looked into it, I think it's Australia and the UK currently will fine social media if they allow anonymous posts to happen. So I know those social media companies can do it, and I don't think it's something that's going to happen from Yarmouth Town Hall, but I think writing a letter and maybe encouraging others to do it might be a good way to at least, I don't mind if somebody says something to me, and I've gone back and forth with people if I knew who they are. But when you don't know who they are, you start making assumptions and thinking the worst of people. And I know, Pam, you go through it, or your worship, you go through it more than anybody. And it's bad. Like some of these sites are very bad. So I know it wasn't on the agenda today, but at some point I'd like to bring it forward as a motion to council to look at writing a letter to request that.
Are you okay to put it on the next committee of the whole? Give Belle and I a minute to go to NSFM and see where it stands, unless, Belle, you already know? I can't recall, but I did talk to Juanita about that.
Okay.
Because it's not just us. Like, it's about everybody. And I'll tell you, at the conference, it was a session I chaired, and we had people that went to the Strong Cities, and I think I shared something with it. What they were hearing was atrocious worldwide, like from the Netherlands to Hungary to people from all over the world gathered in that place, and they kept saying the same thing: something has to be done. And I keep saying, like, I don't care what you say about me, and sometimes I'm half the problem, maybe 60%, but I can't allow somebody to do that without speaking up, because it's given somebody else permission to speak back. So, yeah, let's add that.
To me, it wouldn't be any different than, writing slurs on a public building or something. Yeah. If you're not caught, you're doing it anonymously. But I think there is a way of these social media companies can track that and not allow it to happen. Yeah. And I think it happens with the school board as well. Like teachers and administrators are commented on nonstop, and it's you know, it's ruining the atmosphere in the community and in schools, and I think it's discouraging people from thinking of seeking public office. So
Yeah.
it'd be nice to move forward on something. But yeah, next committee of the whole.
So that'll give us time to see where we are.
Yeah,
I know the
for sure.
province was looking at it as well, because they're same
Yeah.
thing. So thanks
Thank
for
you.
that. Okay, so are we good? In camera, let's go to motion to go in camera. Thanks, everyone.